Everybody, and welcome. My name is Melody Jolly, and I'm the CEO of Taft University System. She always has to do something for me. And I'm the Dean of Taft Law School. So welcome. It's my pleasure to welcome you all, students, family, friends, faculty, deans. This is a great time for your great celebration. I want to start off with a quote from Abraham Lincoln. Always bear in mind that your own resolution to succeed is more important than any other one thing. This quote is in reflection of your accomplishments today. You started a journey better to know your knowledge in the law, business, as well as in education. During your journey, there was issues that arose. Either it was family, in regards to work, health issues, but you continued on and obviously strove to be successful. Then, of course, COVID. Lovely 2020. COVID hit, which was unprecedented for any and every one of us, where education did do a great change, which the great advantage we had, we were already online. So we didn't have those hiccups that most universities did have. But education changed, work changed, social interaction changed, mandated shutdowns, that just changed everything in the world for us. Yet, through the thick and thin of it, you all strove, stuck to it, persevered, and obviously earned your degree. Your academic accomplishments are here to be celebrated and congratulated. You have become stronger, a better person from your journey. You are now equipped for your continued journey as to whatever lies before you. You have a mindset to succeed, and don't forget that. You are strong. You have the ability to analyze and look at a problem and face any challenges that will become before you. In reflection about me, I just want to give you a quick little related quirk in a nutshell. I actually graduated from college and thought I wanted to be a real estate broker. That's what I did. Residential, boring, so I started to do commercial real estate. I was 22, and boy, did I get taken advantage of. So I decided to go to law school, thinking my journey will take me to be a real estate attorney. Well, I did go to law school, and it was tough, and I see my parents raise me in a bubble, because what's black is black, what's white is white, what's right is right, what's wrong is wrong, there is no gray. Well, those of you who studied law, there is a lot of gray out there, and you need to understand how to see both sides. Of course, my journey obviously opened up many paths, and one great path that did come my way was academics. So I fell into academics and obviously started tutoring, teaching for bar review courses, and then of course eventually was the associate dean, then became the dean at Taft Law School. As you remember, your journey will continue. There will be many challenges for you, but you have many paths to choose from. And with those paths, remember, keep the strength and the knowledge. Now there's one little statement I want you to keep in mind. Life is like a camera. Focus on what matters most. Capture what makes you happy. Develop from the negatives. And if things don't work out, always take another shot. Congratulations. Now we'll hear from Amy Kahn, the president of William Howard Taft. Or, I'm sorry, we're going to hear from Neil Johnson first.
You can tell I'm retiring. I'm Dr. Neil Johnson, the President Emeritus of William Howard Taft University. And my real purpose here today is going to be to introduce you to the new president. But I just wanted to make a few remarks based on comments I heard this morning at the law school graduation, and I've heard already from students and family in this audience. Can you hear me all right? Usually when they put me behind a podium, you can't see anything. So anyway, I kept hearing this, especially this morning. I kept hearing that people were impressed with Taft University, the Taft University system, because of their focus on students. And that has been our founders' goal, was start a school that caters to the students. It's student-centered education, and it's affordable. So I want to welcome you to the reincarnation of graduation for Taft University. We've survived COVID-19, as has already been commented on. We've survived inflation. We've survived the higher education, the war on higher education, which is significant, in case you don't know yet, and the war on proprietary schools, in other words, private schools. Taft was one of the very few private schools, proprietary schools, that has survived while maintaining its philosophy of online education that is self-directed and affordable. We're student-centered. Our focus has always been on the students. In my 13 years here, we've been reaccredited 3 times while achieving a 5-fold increase in our educational offerings, including 3 concentrations in the Doctor of Education, some of you guys, the School of Government and Law we added, and a Master of Public Administration degree. For those of you that have friends that want a good degree, think about our Master of Education or our Master of Public Administration. It's a good school, good degree. I want to thank you for your support. The reason we're still here is because of students. Without students, we simply wouldn't exist. And that's why we put such a significant focus on student. It's a student-centered school. It's a word-of-mouth school, largely. And we're going to remain that way. Having grown up in a cattle ranch in western Colorado, I know that emeritus is a polite way of saying they're putting you out to pasture. So I'm going out to the pasture, but don't worry about me. I've already dusted off my guitars. I have 2 of them. I've set up a welding shop in my garage so I can do welding sculpture. And I'm practicing my Spanish, which was my native language, my father's native language, and I've never learned it. So I'm about to do that. Now, my real purpose here today is to introduce you to the new person who's going to be taking my place, who's already taken my place. I'd like you to meet the new President and Chief Academic Officer of William Howard Taft University. What we're going to do is pass the baton. I made it myself. This lady has been the Vice President of Operations for Colorado Technical University. She's been a provost for University of the Rockies. She's the president and founder of her own company, for you DBA students, CultureLink. She's been a senior intern at Cable Network News. She's been a classroom teacher in Paris, France. She's been the Dean of Academic Affairs for Colorado Community College System online. Most importantly, she's a national leader in diversity, and something that we put a lot of focus on at Taft University. She sits on the Board of Trustees for the Iowa School of Theology and Pima College and Clinic. She has a PhD in Human and Organizational Systems. She has a Master of Arts in Organizational Development. She has a Master of Business Administration in International Finance. She has a Bachelor of Arts in French, and she actually speaks French. On top of all of that, we have now at Taft University a legitimate Jewish mother. And so I'm going to introduce you to and pass the baton. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the new president and chief academic officer of William Howard Taft University, Dr. Amy Kahn.
Well, this is going to have to be a new tradition at graduation, I have to say. Well, thank you so much. Those words were very beautiful. I appreciate it tremendously. And you will be sorely missed. And I know that you're going to continue working with us on projects and other activities, but thank you. Esteemed faculty and families, friends, and graduating class. I guess it's 2019, 2021, and 22, 23. Is that it, everybody? I love it. It's with immense pride and humility that I stand before you today as the third president of William Howard Taft University. This day, though, is not about me. It's not about the faculty or anybody on this stage. Today we gather to celebrate the remarkable achievement of each and every one of you, and to express our gratitude to your families and friends who have supported you on the journey. Let's give them a hand, please. Let's not forget the unwavering support, encouragement, and understanding they have provided you along the way, and the gift of essential time and space where you have been able to set ambitious goals, lay down a clear roadmap, and work diligently towards the fulfillment of your dreams. Today is a day of jubilation and recognition. Embrace the moment, cherish the memories, and let it serve as a springboard for the brilliance that lies ahead. This is a day of self-reflection. Be true to yourself and be you. Throughout this transformative process, you have had the freedom to be your best self, to embrace your passions, talents, and unique perspectives. In a world that often nudges us towards conformity, you have managed to stay authentic to your individuality, and that, graduates, is an accomplishment in and of itself. As we mark this important milestone in your lives, I want to share a brief story that reflects the essence of being true to oneself. It's an Aesop's fable. It's about an elk and a grasshopper. An elk is drinking at a river. We'll get to the grasshopper later. Admiring its beautiful antlers. He notices how small and weak his legs appear to be. Just then, out of nowhere, a hunter approaches and shoots an arrow towards him, so the elk just runs away into the woods. At that moment, he's admiring the strength of his legs. He used his legs to survive. But while he's admiring his beautiful legs, his antlers get caught in the trees. The hunter catches up to the elk, and you can imagine what happens next. For me, the fable is a cautionary tale. In the story of the elk, we're reminded that we may sometimes undervalue our most important assets and talents. It warns us against cognitive dissonance, where we might think our greatest strength lies in one area, only to realize that it resides elsewhere. Understand our own self-worth calls for reflection, personal reflection, and understanding about our own personal assets. What are your personal assets? I invite you to consider the steps you've already taken that brought you to this momentous occasion. Look at what you already have accomplished and how you plan to continue to lean in and be your best self. Be true to yourself. Be you. This graduation is a significant turning point in your lives, and it's a time to contemplate the importance of being true to you. Take this moment to reflect on who you are. Who do you aspire to be? And how you show up. How do you contribute to society? Dr. Boyer once asked, in an era when careerism dominates the campus, is it too much to expect students to go beyond their private interests and learn about the world around them, develop a sense of civic and social responsibility to discover how they can contribute to the common good? Your academic journey at Taft has been characterized by hard work, dedication, and perseverance. As you leave behind the hours spent reading, writing papers, and engaging in discussions, you step into a new chapter in your life. I encourage you to envision your story unfolding and to seek strategic partnerships and collaborations that can shape your future and will also enrich the lives of the families we hear in the room and the full community at large. Be true to yourself. Be you. As you embark on this new journey, I challenge you also to ask yourself meaningful questions about who you are today and what your greatest strengths are. What are the lessons you have learned along the way? Dr. Deming once said, if you do not know how to ask the right questions, you discover nothing. What are your questions? Throughout your time as a student, you are often assessed based on your ability to absorb information and regurgitate knowledge back to your instructors. Now, with this commencement, it signifies more than just the end of your studies. It marks a new beginning, a transformation into your true selves. Remember, self-improvement is not achieved by imitating others, for borrowed garments seldom fit well. Your education and degrees were earned through your own hard work and sincere efforts, which have a lasting impact. It can and will inspire others around you. Now for the fable about the grasshopper. The grasshopper spends his summer singing and dancing like that, while a team of ants have worked hard all summer collecting food for the winter. The grasshopper does not understand why the ants work so hard. When winter comes, the grasshopper is quite hungry. And then he sees the ants serving up food and feasts to survive. He understands why the ants worked so hard. The story of the grasshopper and the ants reminds us that there is a time for work and a time for play. While it's essential to enjoy life, never disregard your responsibilities or the preparation needed for the future. As graduates, you have prepared yourself for what lies ahead, and your dedication and hard work are fundamental building blocks to the foundation of your success. It is time to feast. As you celebrate your accomplishments today, I eagerly await hearing about your inspirations, your aspirations, and the mark you wish to leave and will leave on the world. When our founder, David Boyd, reached out to the first group of students in 1976, he said, "Welcome. How can we help you?" We, as the Taft community, consider each of you an invaluable asset, a part of our family, and we genuinely want to know, how can we help you? Our commitment to support you does not end with your graduation. We will continue to stand by you as you pursue your goals and become the best versions of yourselves. Being my first graduate class, I personally am very much looking forward to hearing where you go in your future. With this, I leave you with 5 thoughts. 1, remember the value of your assets, those that you know and those yet to be discovered. You have proven that hard work, perseverance, and time can and will pay off. Continue to pursue your dreams. 3, as Dr. Boyer noted, your actions can, will, and should impact the public good. 4, as Deming noted, continue to ask the right questions. And remember, everything is interconnected. 5, as William Howard Taft stated, the trouble with me is that I like to talk too much. As we rejoice in your triumphs today, let us also take a moment to reflect on the significance of self-awareness. It is through understanding and embracing our strengths, weaknesses, and ambitions that we can forge a path that aligns with our core values and aspirations. Remember that self-awareness is not a static state, but a continuous journey of introspection and growth. May the importance of being true to yourself guide your paths and lead you to a future filled with purpose, fulfillment, and meaningful contributions to society. So as you embark on the next chapters of your life, carry with you the knowledge and the road ahead may be laden with challenges. However, armed with the support of your loved ones and armed with the power of authenticity, armed with self-awareness and new knowledge, you possess the tools to navigate the obstacles with resilience and determination. I want to express my heartfelt congratulations to the classes of 19 to 23. Once again, congratulations. So our next speaker is Dr. Anita Cassard. So I'll put this down and pretend to be Anita. I will not try to do her accent, although I did talk to folks and say that perhaps I would do her accent today, but decided not against that. She is very sorry that she couldn't make it today, but she did ask me to read for her a couple of of quick messages for all of you. How many of you had the opportunity to work with Dr. Cassard? Okay. Hello from your physically absent but mentally and spiritually present Dean Anita Cassard. Dr. Cassard stated that life as we know it as much an expression of the conditions of our planet as it is of life itself. How do we relate this topic, the planets, to you and your graduation? Let us say that you are part of the world and will create the conditions needed in your universe. Our minds take us from here to there and upwards and downwards and around. Taft University strives to help to churn your thoughts and ideas for your future journeys, for you as individuals. Anita likes metaphors. She further wrote, she always likes to dive into Earth's history and our place in it. She wrote, tectonics for 36 million years have had faster and slower seafloor spreading, depth changes in ocean basins, and the tectonic transfer of water into the deep earth. This 36 million year time span is because of regular patterns of tectonic plates recycling into the convecting mantle. Hopefully y'all know what this is about. The mobile part of the deep earth, or as another scientist might say, similar to heat, the thick soup in a pot that moves slowly. Akin to earning a master's or doctoral degree, it takes time and it takes patience. You are a part of all this vast universe. You will spread and influence society with your innovations and ideas and affect depth changes in business, institutions, and families. In the metaphor, the ocean of life basin, you are that thick soup. Hey, I don't write it, I just read it. Yeah, that will transform into a delicious bouillabaisse, adapted to different styles and cultures, based on your Taft experience and work. So on behalf of Dr. Cassard, felicitations, and may you continue on your incredible journey with your well-deserved and earned degrees. I would like to introduce to you somebody you already probably know, Dr. Barry. Dr. Barry Resnick.
Thank you, Dr. Khan. I don't have a prepared speech, but I do have a special guest that I'm going to introduce to all of you. But before I do, I want to give you a little bit of history of the Boyer School of Education. It began as an idea, and I could tell you exactly when it began. It began in 1992. I had just finished a master's degree following finishing a doctorate. And I was looking for another academic challenge. And a colleague of mine said, do you know there's a law school that you could finish your degree, sit for the bar, and it's all done through correspondence? There was no such thing as online then. And I thought, wow, that's pretty cool. That might be my next challenge. So I had the opportunity to look into it, and I had a meeting scheduled with David Boyd, the president of Taft. And I went to his office, and while I was asking him questions, excuse me, about the law program, he was asking me questions about my doctorate. And it was sort of like I'd ask him something, he'd ask me something. The end of the conversation was, he said to me, why don't we start a Doctor of Education program? You don't need to go to law school. We could do a Doctor of Ed program here. And I thought, what a great idea. That's a real challenge. So that was in 1992. And from 1992 to 1995, David and I spent a lot of time working on curriculum, sharing ideas. It was a long, arduous process. But fast forward to 1995, and we got state approval at that time to operate. You just needed approval from the state. So I remember it was the summer of 95, we got approval, we started marketing, and all of a sudden we started getting all these applications from all over the country. But we had forgotten one thing: we had no faculty. So we didn't realize that the desire for enrollment would be so quick that we didn't think about hiring faculty. So we were able to get 4 wonderful senior administrators from local school districts here in Southern California. And the 4 of them worked together for the next decade, working on curriculum, working with students, just doing everything as we evolved from correspondence. And the next step we went to was the fax machine. We were now faxing materials to students. And these 4 literally built the School of Education. And unfortunately, 2 of them are no longer with us, but there are 2 that are here. One of them is not here today because he couldn't be here. That's Dr. Roger Duthoy, who some of you School of Ed people know. But with us today is Dr. Carol Brunette, and I'd like her to stand in the back and give her a big round of applause. Without faculty members like Carol, the School of Education would not be where it is today. And moving forward again after 95, 8 years later in 2003, we got our first accreditation by DETC, which is now DEAC, and the rest, of course, is history. So I wanted to share that with you and introduce Carol to you, and I'll just conclude by congratulating all of you. And I'd like to say something to each and every one of you graduates, because it's very easy to sit there and be real enthusiastic about your degree and about Taft and about dissertation, but once you go home, you kind of forget, and I don't want you to forget. Our emails are readily available. We'd like to hear from you. What are you doing? Where are you? How's the degree improving your professional career? These are things we want to hear. I'd say don't put your dissertation on the shelf and get dusty, because that doesn't happen anymore. But don't keep it in a flash drive in your drawer. Share it and let us know how you're doing, because we want to hear from you. So congratulations on this great day. I know how you feel. We've all been here, and it is something that you will remember for the rest of your lives. Thank you.
Thank you. And now I'd like to introduce our guest speaker, Dr. Rain.
All right, one more quick speech. You got it in you? Show me thumbs up. All right. I'm gonna keep you plugging along, straight to the end. So good afternoon, my name is Robert Rain, and I'm delighted to be here on this very special day. I'm honored and humbled to have the opportunity to share just a piece of my Taft journey with you. Thank you to everyone who had a hand in making this day happen. And let's stop for a round of applause there. I really appreciate that. And when this is over, we're all going to take a collective jump in that pool right out there, by the way. So happily, I defended my applied doctoral project in December of 2021. Congratulations to my fellow graduates. You deserve to be here. And I'm delighted to share this experience with you. Also, a heartfelt congratulations to my family, some of whom are here today, and to the families of my fellow graduates. In big ways and small, you helped us to get the job done. So thank you. Another round of applause to all of you. Yes. It's interesting because I don't think anyone who knows me would refer to me as traditional. I've always been a free spirit, an out-of-the-box thinker, a person who understands that I have nothing to gain from keeping up with the Joneses next door. I know who I am, and I know how to stay true to who I am to that free and independent spirit while getting the job done. So I'm an educator with over 20 years of experience in public schools. Oh my goodness, I've been and I'm still standing up straight. Can you believe it? I've been a teacher, an instructional coach, a campus administrator, a state support leader. Suffice to say that I did not step into any of those roles in a traditional cookie-cutter fashion. And truth be told, education was my second calling. After graduating from high school in Texas, I moved to New York to attend the American Musical and Dramatic Academy to study musical theater. I worked consistently as a card-carrying performer and for several years and had the opportunity to work alongside and rub elbows with some very talented and maybe even some well-known people throughout my career. But I always knew that that independent spirit of mine would shine through and carry me into a different world. So I started teaching acting and theater, which led to leadership roles in public schools. Eventually, I moved into an administrator role at the district and state levels. I currently have the great joy and honor of supporting educators from the phenomenal Meadow Center for Preventing Educational Risk at the University of Texas, Austin. Hook 'em! I'm the only hook 'em. Oh, well, thank you for that applause. That was complete courtesy applause. I totally understand. But no, I'm very proud of that role, a role that Taft helped me to step into. Okay. I started my doctoral journey with Taft University while I was an administrator at an elementary school. I knew that attending a traditional university would be a greater challenge for me because the role of an administrator is really round the clock. Flexibility was key. But to be clear, flexibility does not equal ease ability. The program is challenging and rigorous, and there are no shortcuts. But I had good people on my side throughout my journey. Each teacher provided first-rate support, highly communicative, friendly, engaging, and provided ultra meaningful feedback. When I needed additional support, our Director of Student Affairs, timely and accommodating. So thank you to Stephanie. Thank you to Annie. Yes, they deserve applause. Phenomenal. Thank you to my wonderful committee, Dr. Lisa Reason, Dr. Maple Melder Crozier, say that 3 times fast, and my glorious chair, Dr. Jillian Skelton, who was an absolute cheerleader and inspiration for me from the moment that she appeared on my Zoom screen from her home in Atlanta. Finally, a very special shout out to our outgoing president, Dr. Johnson. Now, let me just be clear that Dr. Johnson made it very clear to me that my journey and my success were of the utmost importance to him. He kindly and skillfully advised me, supported me through some challenges, and continued to reassure me that I was on the right path and in the right place. So thank you, Dr. Johnson. It's my pleasure to be here to cheer you on as you move into your next part of your journey. So thank you. Now, these amazingly supportive leaders modeled for me something that I hope to pay forward: to lead with kindness, to lead with compassion, enthusiasm, and an ongoing assumption of positive intent. We tend to hold dear in our hearts and our memories those who honored us with kindness and faith in our abilities to do great things, but I would be remiss if I didn't mention that some of us who think outside of the box, who don't usually fit that cookie-cutter mold that society often attempts to force us into, some of us can be motivated by challenges and by those who challenge us. So back in my days as a performer in New York City, someone very influential said to me, "Robert, embrace the fact that you are a work in progress. Just decide who you want to be and live each day as that person would. Before you know it, you will wake up and that person you will be." Well, I'm still on that journey, but I'm thankful to Taft University and all the allies who supported me through those 4 years for getting me that much closer to the person I hope to be someday. Now, as I said before, I began my adulthood as an actor and a performer in New York City, and it was certainly a springboard for everything I've done since then. So please indulge me as I close with a little drama. This is very tongue-in-cheek, but what I did is I put together a quick closing poem that sort of sums up my journey, and feel free to laugh. That's what this is about. I don't want to die right here on this stage in front of this crowd, but here we go. I started adulting with stars in my eyes. I moved to New York to win the big prize. But pounding the pavement was futile, you see, so I leveraged my skills to design a better me. It called, so I answered, the world of public ed. It was broken, but crucial, so I charged full speed ahead. I was a team leader, mentor, teacher of the year, so after 10 years, I kicked it into higher gear. I became an ed boss, which isn't for the weary, while working on a doctorate, which sounded good in theory. 4 years, a pandemic, but a fire in my belly. It happened. I defended. Who needs Liza Minnelli? So I honor and support my system and thank you from my heart to those who had my back and believed in me from the start. But I also thank my challengers as they influenced me too. Thank you for your input. That's Dr. Rain to you. Thank you, everyone, and congratulations, and thank you all.
Are you ready for the fun part? I don't hear you. Are you ready for the fun part? All right. It's time to read the names. So if you will join me up here, please. We will be reading your name one at a time, and I don't know the order of where you're sitting, but when your name is read, you can come up, and Neil and I will hand you your diploma.
Yeah, when I read your name, please come up on my left, and then you'll get your degree here.
So are you doing which group, which school first?
Well, we're going to go with the Taft Law School. We have Tigris McDaniel, Juris Doctor. And now we'll start with the Doctor of Education degrees. Daniel Abbott.
This person does not get their degree.
Sarah Conda Fisher. Dr. Dorothy Keith. Dr. Robert Rain. Dr. Alfred Sample. Dr. Yuvraj Verma. Dr. George Fonderson. Dr. Niwei Hong Kong. Dr. Noreen Kadarega. Dr. Gina Lee. Dr. Rich Lama. Dr. Samson Ugola. Dr. Michael Price. Dr. Tamara Scott. Dr. Thomas Williams.
I know, right?
Dr. Reddy Yu. These are the MBA degrees. Mr. Francis Elliott. Tegabo Helenonian. She's not here.
She doesn't get that degree either.
All right. What's your name? Tegabo. Oh, that's you, sorry.
I know, that was close.
Benjamin Diaz-Marin.
Thank you. Thank you.
Munif Muhammad. This is a Bachelor's in Business Administration, Augusta Philando.
All right, come on, everybody can scream like that. Y'all did it. As your new president, I'd like to start, if you'll indulge me, with a new tradition here at Taft. Please repeat after me, all the graduates. I, your name, pledge to maintain the highest standards of my profession. I will respect the dignity and worth of the individual, and above all else, do no harm. I will abide by a strict code of ethics and live by a personal code of moral and ethical behavior. You got it, it wasn't that long. I will not practice outside the bounds of my training and area of expertise, nor will I exploit others for my own needs. I am a lifelong learner, and I will continue to be an active participant in reaching my potential. I have worked hard to earn this moment. I am proud of what I have learned through my studies and time with Taft University System. This is irrevocable. I state your name. Before my friends, family, colleagues, faculty, and members of the Taft community, offer my solemn oath. I am a graduate of, name your degree or your program. There you go. On this 27th day of July, 2023. Congratulations. Enjoy your afternoon.